Okay, let's get started today. I'll go ahead and shut this door. So as you can probably hear, I have a cold. I don't feel very good, and sorry about that. I won't touch you. I think I'm over the bad part yesterday, I think was the bad part. It's just that my voice is not very good today. Anyway, so I'll review a little bit about the favorite places. So I did grade those the other day, and I'll return that. And I think today we'll go ahead and review some of my thoughts about favorite place. If you have questions on my proofreading, I know sometimes it's little and it's hard to read, and my editing may not be super clear to you, but I'll spend some time going over that today. You probably still have a little bit of work maybe on your business cards and then the letterhead, so we'll do just a little bit of review with that. Is there any questions on the business card at all? Okay. And I do encourage you to share between each other. So if you really want to have somebody else's opinion, I think that that's a good idea, because a lot of times you spend so much time working on something and you're kind of invested in it, and so you think it's the best, and somebody can look at it and go, well, my eye goes here first. Do you really want my eye to go there first? So it is a good idea to have somebody else help you out. Question?
The chapter 3 lab paragraph spacing thing that was due today, is that the kerning one?
Yep.
Okay, so is it just our names that you're
Yep.
seeing?
It was basically it with your name kerned. We used 2 different fonts, and that was really it. So much of what chapter 3 was, we had already covered with character and paragraph spacing and formatting. So it was just a very simple upload with a couple of things. The letterhead assignment, I'll go ahead and click on that one, and that's just a Word document, again, that's inside Moodle. And so you can work on that today as well. So today's a work day. I'll be here, but it's a work day. Okay, so you'll design your own letterhead to coordinate with your business card. And again, you don't want to just simply copy and paste. You can copy and paste the content for sure. I encourage that. But as far as just moving everything in and pasting it in there and saying, yep, I'm done, likely not going to happen. Be mindful of your format, the size. Letterhead is different size than the business card, and the placement of elements. So this is a standard 8.5 by 11 page, tall orientation, 1 column, meaning really no column. Margins, you can use 3P0. That's a 1/2 inch all the way around. If you feel like you want to use 1 inch or a bottom margin of 1.5 inch, or maybe 1/2 inch all the way around with a bottom margin of 1 inch, you're okay to do that. So the margins, I'm not, I'd like you to think about them, but that would be okay if you vary that. As far as the ruler guide, what I'm meaning there is that you need to think about the size of the message. That's the most important thing on a letter, is that you're telling somebody something, you're informing them, it's a communication, and a formal business communication. And the message body part needs to have space in order to adequately get your message across. So most of the time, most letterheads stop at about, and that's from the edge of your page. So if you look at your standard page, most of them are going to be about 2 inches. That's about the maximum amount of space that the head part's going to take up. Okay, some letterheads, you might see a tagline at the bottom. You might even see a logo. So as far as, people's reading patterns, oftentimes they start top left, and they remember that. So the beginning, it's kind of like the first person that presents. A lot of times people remember that person. And then the last person that presents, they remember that person. So a lot of times your eye is going to stop here. So again, things placed in that lower right-hand side also is more memorable. So that's okay. I'd like all the same content. So again, if you identified an organization or whatever, that's fine too. So use the same information from your business card as going onto your letterhead. I'd like some sort of a tagline, or if you had specialties, you know, kind of what you do, then I'd like that brought in there. Same glyph, same image, whatever you used. And again, wherever you place things, I would look at it from an attractive standpoint, attractiveness. Again, same thing, alignment, proximity, repetition, and contrast. I'd like you to save it in InDesign format, and also save in the Adobe PDF, just like you did for the business card, and then upload both to Moodle, okay? And as far as the, let me go down here. There's that. Okay, as far as the favorite place, and again, I'll be giving you back the favorite place content. I think you can see that okay. Okay, so, and these are just notations from everybody. So I wanted to put everything on here, whether they speak to you or don't speak to you. Everybody had a different assignment. So if there's errors that I noted, whether it's punctuation, combining your sentences, because you don't have a full sentence, you have just a thought without a complete thought. If you space twice at the end of a sentence rather than once, you have a spelling error, all those, so please go ahead. Hi there, buddy. You have to, he's really good. He has to come say hi to me. You're so sweet. So correct the errors, and then if things are unclear, if it's unclear, please see me. Remember the who, what, when, where, why, and how in your articles, and I kind of tried to note that for you, especially the first paragraph or two, because you do want to present that to your audience. Concentrate on why, so really why your favorite place matters. That's your main message, okay? Think about, so your pull quote, and I'll describe what a pull quote is, but as you're reading through your material, think about what really jumps out. So a pull quote is something that you see in magazines, newspapers, online articles. It's a sentence that's pulled out. It's duplicated, I'll say that. It's within the article, but it's also pulled out in large type. And it's usually a sentence, but it can be a block of text, but it's something that's the essence. It's kind of like what this sentence says is the main essence of what the article is. And it's likely something that's going to grab your reader's attention. So think about that as you're proofreading and going through, and you might want to do a little highlight on your copy that, oh yeah, I kind of think that's going to be a pull quote. Let's see. Capitalize consistently. Again, one space bar following end of sentence punctuation. Break your paragraphs by topic. Some of you have really long paragraphs and they're not broken by topic. So I tried to do that, and hopefully I clarified that. I put little blocks around it. New paragraph. One enter key between paragraphs, and remember to increase that spacing after setting so that it's a clear designation paragraph to paragraph. Think about how to organize your material. Some of you had short articles on your favorite place, and I think it would be, you know, really appropriate to do something like that. Some of you had some really long articles, so this is going to turn into a longer newsletter. So just in your thought process right now, and it's okay, I would correct what you're doing, because then whatever you do, you can copy and paste it into a new article and add to it or whatever you want to do. But think about how to organize and break the topic maybe into smaller chunks that make sense to your reader. And it could be that you, at the end of your favorite place, so the introduction, maybe you have, you know, I really, it's so important to protect this favorite place for future generations. And then you can go into maybe a separate sustainability article or something like that. And I think a lot of you have topics that you could have multiple sustainability ideas, not just one. Proofread with an eye to cut. there's some duplicate content. I noted some of that on some of yours. Maybe combine multiple sentences. Sometimes you say the same thing 2 times, maybe even 3 times throughout, so you can maybe just get rid of 1 or 2 of those sentences or combine them. Combine, if you have 2 really long sentences that are, again, kind of similar, or, geez, could I shorten this into 1 distinct sentence that says the same thing? So proofread for brevity, clarity, shortening. Switch with another classmate. Some of you may have a friend that's skilled in editing. That's okay too. Tie up loose ends. So if there's, again, you switch with somebody and you're like, you didn't answer that question. I still have a question about why this happened, or why can't it be fixed? Why can't you hook up, one was hooking up to the water system. Why can't that take place? So you do have to answer some questions. And then remember, there's some resources that are on Moodle. There's lots of resources, but one that might come in handy, remember that AP style that had a lot of commonly misspelled words, word usage, so that might come in handy. And that's really about all I have today. So work on your business cards, work on your letterhead, and if you get all that done, you don't need to resubmit your favorite place, but work on correcting that favorite place. Okay, so that's all I have today. Any questions that you need me to go over within InDesign? Okay, so I'll stop my recording today.